Today, we're taking a look at the Air Jordan 4, A Ma Maniere. What's up guys, bjkicks here and welcome back to my channel, Kicks on Kicks, where I do early sneaker reviews, unboxings, and all sorts of other stuff. Now, today I am giving you a very early look at the Air Jordan 4, A Ma Maniere. Now, we've got this early look courtesy of my guy Dang over at Pink Pop. And I'm super excited that he donated this pair for content. There's a lot to talk about here. Of course, this is a replica shoe. So I'm going to give you the story of this shoe. I'm going to give you sort of an overview of the materials and everything. And then I'm going to tell you how you can spot the differences between this and the actual retail shoe when that drops later on in November. So all in all, very good shoe. Let's talk about it. So first, we got to talk about the story of this shoe, because this shoe, this one right here, this is the shoe that exposed a whole lot of people. And what do I mean by that? So for those of you who aren't like following sneakers all the time, things usually go in phases when it comes to release dates, right? First, you'll find like a list, maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet, a CSV, something where they're updating like stock websites, right? And you'll get an early look, you'll get the SKU, the SKU, item number, basically. You get the colorway, you get the price, right? And so for this, we heard there was an Air Jordan 4 A Ma Maniere collab, and we got the colorway, the colors being this violet ore and ash and matte black and muslin and all that, right? And so what a lot of people did, they saw that colorway, and then we got these mock-ups, and the mock-ups looked pretty much exactly like the color blocking on the A Ma Maniere Jordan 3. And so, of course, you know, once those mock-ups come out, now it's time for the replica factories to go out there and make what they think is going to be the shoe. And so we had a lot of replica shoes out there on YouTube exposing some of your favorite people. You're like, hey, here's an early look. And it turns out those weren't the shoe at all. And so the new mock-ups came out. We started getting official images of this shoe, or at least early images of this shoe. And people were disappointed. There were some people, even my guy Trends was like, yo, like they should have just went with the mock-up. And I disagree. I think this is a super clean shoe. And with this colorway, is honestly a contender for sneaker of the year. I don't think anything is beating the Chicago Reimagines in my book, but these are high on the list. So that's the story behind this shoe. Now, this is an A Ma Maniere collab. If you're not familiar, A Ma Maniere is a luxury brand, basically, with a flagship store in Atlanta. They got a few other locations around the world. Founded by James Whitner, who also brought you Social Status and some other boutiques around the world. And A Ma Maniere literally means our way in French. And so it's very cool. I think it mean my way. It's my way or our way. But either way, it's basically luxury done in the stylings of the African-American community. So when you think A Ma Maniere, you're supposed to think black luxury, black excellence. This purple colorway that James Whitner likes to use on the A Ma Maniere collabs is supposed to represent like bloodshed and just, you know, just kind of how things were growing up for him and Whitaker Project. So that's really interesting. There's not an official story released on this shoe. Like I know the Jordan 3 was about like black women. So that was interesting, but there hasn't been an official story released on this shoe yet. But I just wanted to give you guys some of that background because, you know, a lot of your favorite YouTubers got exposed when this colorway came out. And of course, you already know it was a race for these replica factories to try to pump out something that looked like the official shoe in time to sell it to a whole bunch of people. So anyway, I got this early one to look at. Like I said, we're going to take a look at this shoe and I'm going to give you the differences between this and the retail. Because boy, there are definitely some differences. So starting out, we're going to look at the box real quick. Now, there haven't been any official images released of the packaging, but right now these replica sites, they are sending out like a combination of the packaging from previous A Ma Maniere collabs. So you got that little acetate box right here. And inside, well, you see there's A Ma Maniere branding all over this little acetate box. But inside, you got this Basically a Jordan 4 flight box with some A Ma Maniere branding on the sides. Looking at the colorway on the box, which we'll get into this, but it says Air Jordan 4 Retro, dark purple, black, and white. With a retail price at $225. Well, that retail price is right, but the colorway on this box, all wrong. The item code is right though. But anyway, that's the box. On the inside, they've put in that translucent A Ma Maniere paper that you're used to from other collabs. And there you go. There's the inside of that box. I don't know if this is going to be the official box, but it was a valiant effort, if nothing else. So that's the box. Now let's look at the shoe. So of course, this shoe, the official colorway on this shoe is violet or black and muslin, right? So you got this violet or ash and all this stuff, but it's, when I think of violet, obviously violet is like purple, and ore, like iron ore. When I think of the ore, or the iron, I think of rust. And this is definitely like a rusty brown colorway on this. You know, this is definitely like a synthetic leather upper. It's interesting. It's interesting, but it's definitely a leather upper. And you got it all violeted out. It's like this ashy purple color. And I love it. I love this color on the shoe. Just quick details. I mean, you got your classics. It's an Air Jordan 4. You've seen the Jordan 4. You've seen one. You've seen them all. But you got this violet ore all over the upper. So there's nice monochromatic design here. On the midsole is where you finally get like to a break of that color. So you get this flat black. It's like a matte black all around the midsole. And then that secondary layer, this is muslin, is what it's listed as. So it's definitely darker than sail. It's like an aged yellow cream, like you got that colorway. Then moving down toward the outsole, this is more of like a wine color. I really like this. I'm a sucker for purple on sneakers. Since back in the day, I had a pair of Air Force Ones in the port wine color, and that was actually closer to the color that's on this hang tag. And ever since then, I've always like loved purple on sneakers. I know my guy, Danny, loves purple on sneakers as well. Shout out to you, Danny, at the Ace Blade on TikTok. So moving on to some of the finer details on the shoe. Back toward the ankle, you got this little rivet button here with that classic A Ma Maniere A logo there. On the back heel tab, of course, you got Nike Air branding on the back, which always sets off any Jordan retro. And then on the heel tab, so on the heel tab on all of the A Ma Maniere collabs, there's a space for like a Michael Jordan quote. So on the 4s, it's on these two back heel tabs. So when you flip these up, on the right shoe, it says it's not about the shoes. On the left shoe, it says it's about where you're going. So really dope touch. And yeah, that's the shoe in a nutshell. Only other thing to point out is on the tongue, on your left shoe, you got your A Ma Maniere branding with that flight, like from your typical Jordan 4s. And then on the right shoe, of course, you got your regular Jordan Flight logo. So that's that. And then looking at the interior, that's the other thing that sets this apart. We got this like satin quilted sock liner, which is super dope. And then the last big defining feature is this insole. You got this this nice wine colored quilted leather insole. So that's pretty dope with this sewn in tag, season HO 2022 and approved by Michael Jordan. So that's really nice. All in all, this shoe, right? And we're going to start talking about the differences between this and the retail. But when I think of a Jordan collab, I'm thinking like, okay, we're getting high quality materials. We're getting the best of the best. And when you think of A Ma Maniere, you think of that like even more so. You know, like during the design process, there is such a focus on quality and on craftsmanship. And I gotta lie, I can't lie to you. I mean, this shoe looks the part, but it falls apart when you get it in hand. So this is an early replica. I don't know, right? Sometimes these replica factories, they're just looking at pictures like we are, and they're trying to make their best rendition of what they see. Other times, they'll actually get a retail shoe in hand, they'll cut it up, and they'll reverse engineer it. I think this one was one that we got just by people looking at pictures. When I compare this to the retail images that I've seen, right, it looks the part. It looks pretty close to the naked eye. But if you look a little closer, you'll notice on the pictures of the retail, like Private Stock has got some in. Who else? Chris Colgan. There are a few people that have gotten their hands on an actual retail pair of this shoe. And what you'll notice is, first off, the shape of the shoe. The shoe on the retail, it's just a slimmer looking shoe, specifically this toe box. If you look at the front of this shoe, it's very bulky. So it kind of like squares off and then goes up diagonally. But yeah, on the retail, that's more of like a sloped edge. It's kind of like a curve, and this little, where the toe box is sewn onto this top panel, it kind of fits over your toe more, is what I can see in the pictures. And you can tell the shape on this is just off. It's boxy. I actually tried these on. And like I said, when you're looking at A Ma Maniere collab specifically, what you're thinking about is top quality material. And while this may look premium in hand, you got the nice gold accent on this hang tag and all that, you put it on feet, it doesn't feel premium and it squeaks. So all in all, either this is not the greatest quality replica, or the shoe just isn't a great quality and it's a great reproduction. But if you're wanting like legit checking tips, the biggest thing to look out for, the shape of this shoe. Another thing to look at is this hang tag, this A Ma Maniere hang tag. If you look closely at the retail images that have come out, that this dark wine color is definitely still the background on the hang tag, but the actual writing on it is not in this black. Mine is black. On the retail, you got like this lighter purple for the border and for the text. And then also on the bottom half of my hang tag, and I'll use BRoll to show you this, but the bottom half of my hang tag, it's got an Air Jordan Wings logo. It looks like the retail shoe. The bottom half of that hang tag is going to have the Air Jordan Jumpman logo. So I think that's a change from previous iterations of A Ma Maniere collabs, but just something for you to know. So another legit checking tip, the writing on the inside of this, on mine, it's a little bit rubbed off and kind of smeared. I assume that the retails won't have that issue. But again, I mean, the shoe looks the part. I'm sure like as you start to, really look over it, you'll find other details and go over it with a fine tooth comb. But all in all, it looks good. But like I said, there's a disconnect between the look of this shoe and the feel of this shoe and what I assume the retail is going to look and feel like. Because I put these on feet and they're just a big, boxy, plasticky feeling mess on feet. So that's something to look out for. Now, again, if you're just one of those guys that's out here like, hey, I'm just putting these straight on the toe, as a lot of people say, then this is going to look good on your feet. You're going to turn heads because this is a collab shoe. But I'm concerned that once the retail comes out, people will definitely know, oh, he's got the Fugazis on. The other thing is just this leather material doesn't feel like, or it doesn't seem like it's going to hold up as well. Like those other ones, like they're going to break in and crease really nicely and all that. This isn't doing that for you. So all in all, it's a dope shoe. I'm very, very curious to see what the retail shoe looks like, but more so, I'm curious to see what it feels like. I want to feel those premium materials in hand. But I mean, the verdict on these, if I'm going just on looks, I'd probably give them an 8 out of 10. So if you're one of those people that's just got to have them early, it's got to have the shoe by any means necessary, you don't care about these little minor differences, hey, I get it. But for me, I'm going to try to hold out and wait for retail. That's my verdict on these. And look, I hope that was helpful. So all in all, Air Jordan 4, A Ma Maniere, it's a dope shoe. I'm going to go ahead and throw this on feet. Oh, by the way, this joint squeaks. Did I tell you that? You put this on feet, it just makes noise. But anyway, I'm going to put this on feet get a few B-roll shots for you and we'll get out of here.